Alright. So, first I'm just going to show off that it's on hard, and then we get started. So this is Sunset Riders on hard using pistol characters. So the reason why I'm using pistol characters is because there was recently a quick kill I discovered on the final boss that saves about 20 seconds. And you can only do it on pistol characters, it's not doable on the shotgunners at all. And Steve is the only character that's able to do all the shotgun quick kills. You actually can't do them all on Billy. So on top of the quick kill, it's also just a lot more difficult to execute the game for pistols. Also because if you die, you have only one shot, and it's just so difficult to hit enemies. Especially when you get to the bosses after the first two. Hopefully the bosses go pretty well. The stages themselves aren't too bad because they're pretty consistent as long as you stay in where you need to be. If you get out of line and you go in the wrong pixel, it's really easy to get killed. Carmano is not the best character. Steve is the best character. Not a bad fight there. So coming up next is Hawk-Hank Hatfield. It's an auto-scroller, but it's actually kind of easy to die because your hitbox is a lot bigger in this. And if you mismanage the enemies, it's easy to get comboed and trapped. Hopefully that doesn't happen though. Okay, so after that goes away, it becomes a little bit more easier to get through the stage consistently. But usually what ends up happening is you get the log thrown at you, and one of the guys comes from the screen, and they shoot a bullet instantly, and you just have no time to react, and it's so hard to dodge. But once you get to the train, it's pretty easy sailing. Sunset Riders is actually a pretty easy game to pick up for the most part. It's easy to pick up and it's easy to learn, but it's really difficult to master. Just because you're always reacting to things. It's especially the bosses in the later part of the game. But right now is like the only time I'm gonna get to look at chat, so. So, the second half of this game is much more difficult than the first half, and I wasn't paying attention. That's my fault. I thought I was still holding up left. But that actually doesn't matter too much, so this is actually a good way to explain this part of the game. So when you only have one pistol, the bosses actually become easier. they'll shoot less bullets at you, and they'll give you better patterns overall. And this goes for every single boss in the game. And actually, dying there doesn't really lose me any time because it'll lose like a couple seconds, but he can actually give me a better pattern and actually make the fight faster. But I'm taking my, I should not talk during fights. Alright, there we go. Good news is you got to hear really good music. Bad news is you lost a little bit of time. So this is going to be a bonus stage. You can't really speed it up, can't do anything. Killing the guys actually loses you a little bit of time, like 2 or 3 seconds overall. Nothing really going on for this, just kind of gives you a little bit of a breather. So the next stage coming up with single pistol is actually a little bit more difficult to execute, just because there's a couple knife guys that can kill you if you're not quick enough to react to them. Obviously my goal would be to 1cc of this, but it's an extremely difficult game. And once again, we get a really good track, so, I mean, one of the reasons why that Sunset Riders is such a fun game to run is just because the music's so good. Like that guy, that knife guy almost got me there if I was just a little bit slower. And because of the invulnerability there, that guy didn't kill me. If I was just like playing the game normally and I didn't get that upgrade, well, I'd get it no matter what, but if I was just like a few frames earlier, he would have gotten me there. So this quick kill for this boss is pretty easy to do, but if you off by like 1 or 2 pixels, it's easy to die. Good fight there. Normally you're supposed to go up and down and shoot the guys and try to dodge everything, but you just get up in his face and tell him his boss. And we got our first cutscene coming up. Very good voice acting. And then we got the Mario Brothers here. We'll see if we can make quick work of them. Hopefully the fight goes well. Yeah. Ooh. I accidentally fell there. I'm just going to... Alright, there we go. Only lost a couple seconds there. It's only because I fell. If I didn't fall, I would have killed him a little bit quicker. That's all. So coming up in the next few stages is where the game really starts to pick up in difficulty. Like, all the bosses are insanely difficult. The stages are pretty difficult themselves. You'll also see the introduction of the bomb throwers. So in the first half of the game, you probably saw some red guys throwing around dynamite sticks, but now they throw bombs that pull up instantly, and also when you kill them, they drop bombs. So I mean, trying to avoid them is probably the most difficult part about this run from here out. Outside of the bosses, obviously. This is actually a pretty quick stage for the most part. And not terribly difficult, but if you're on the wrong line, these guys will shoot at an angle instead of shooting straight up, and you'll end up dying, which I was able to avoid. So hopefully I can get a pixel perfect jump here and get the quick throw on him, but there's no guarantees. And he jumped, so there's no way, even if I got the right pixel. Not a bad fight for not getting the quick kill. And we got our second bonus stage. So again, not going to kill anything, just to shave a couple seconds. And then we're actually coming up to the... Probably everybody would probably agree that this is either the hardest boss or the second hardest boss right after Sir Richard. So Chief Wigwam is infamous. He actually only has a limited number of patterns, but they're super hard to react to. And if you're just slow by a couple frames or something, you're going to end up dying. And on top of that, the quick kill to get on him is... It requires you to stand right on top of him, and if you're standing on top of him, he tries to slash you. And you'll have to jump every single time that happens. And it's not random, but he'll either slash 2 or 3 times. And if you jump, when you think he's going to slash a third time, but he ends up jumping, he'll throw knives, and you're almost guaranteed to die. So it's almost RNG, but I'm pretty sure that it's not RNG. And this stage also has a bunch of hazards that are just kind of hard to dodge, especially when you get to the rope part. I bet you a lot of people will probably remember that, having to dodge the bullets here. But hopefully if I'm on the right side of the screen, I can kill that guy before he shoots. So you can also land down those pillars, which is very helpful right here to kill that guy. But this is Chief Wigwam, so hopefully it goes well. Ah, that was unfortunate. Hopefully I don't game over here. Ooh, this is gonna be close. Ah, that's really unfortunate for me. Like I said, you make one mistake and all of a sudden it's a million times more difficult to get through the stages. So I'm just going to take this a little bit safer just so I have lives. Don't worry, we got our revenge. That's how the fight's supposed to be done. Paco Loco, another auto-scroller. Just again with the first auto-scroller, it's actually a little bit more difficult this time because the enemies are spaced out differently. But it's pretty easy to get the timing off, and then you have to worry about dodging extremely difficult patterns. That guy that comes out of the top left is actually the most dangerous. He's actually the hardest to hit out of any of the guys that come out. If anyone's going to kill you, it's going to be the guy that comes from the top left. And that's like the least common spot for the enemies to come out of is the top left. And we're actually going to use the invincibility frames to dodge a couple bullets here. So, whenever you pick up an item, that guy killed me in my marathon run, and I just got done saying that if you're on the wrong pixel, he's going to kill you. And I guess I was on the wrong pixel, so... So, the reason why I'm going slow is because I actually want this bad guy to spawn. Because if he spawns, he's going to give me my double shot. And he's also going to give me, it means I can also pick up the auto fire later on, and I can still get the quick kill on the boss. And we got the quick kill. And somehow that was a gold split, believe it or not. Even with that death, so I mean... With the death in the slow stage, and I got the quick kill, so I mean... Obviously something went wrong with my PB. So behold the gold. And we're at the final stage. The stage itself is not terribly difficult, except for not this bomb coming up, but the next two guys, because I don't really understand personally how they drop their bombs. Sometimes they drop it on the top, and sometimes they drop it on the bottom, and I'd rather just not risk dying there. Alright. Let's hope I get this quick kill. I really want to be able to show it off again. So basically there's one pixel I can stand on, and it allows me to shoot Sir Richard and the thing in front of him at the same time. And it's about 15 to 20 seconds faster. And I didn't get it, so I have to fight him pretty legitimate now. Ah, this happened just before I got in here. Alright, he shouldn't be too bad after right now. All his goons are gone. He's like 2 shots away. And one more phase. The second phase is actually kind of a little bit easier. As I say that and I die. And that's time. So, a couple unfortunate deaths, but overall not terrible. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the run. Wasn't my greatest run, obviously, but still, for a marathon run, you could do much worse. Thanks, everyone.